Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, my name is Kharisma Winalda and welcome back to my video. So in our previous video, we already covered chapter 1, what is translation? Where we talk about the definition of translation, the difference between translating and interpreting, and why translation is so important. So now, in this video, we are going to move on to the chapter 2, Translation Expert. We will look at what translation theory is and how 6 major experts define translation. So without any further ado, let's get started. Before we talk about the experts, let's answer one question first. What is translation theory? So translation theory is the foundation of every translation process. Without theory, a translation can fail to deliver the right message. The idea of translation theory goes all the way back to ancient Greece, where scholars distinguish between metaphrase, which is literal translation, and paraphrase, which is a more meaning-based approach. Translation theory is not just one science, it's a collection of a knowledge that connects meaning, language, and how we understand both. Our first expert is Catford. So Catford defined translation as the replacement of textual material in one language by equivalent textual material in another language. Simply put, translators must find the right equivalent for every word, phrase, and grammatical structure. For example, translating "saya sedang sedih" into English, should it be "I'm sad" or "I was sad"? The answer depends on context. That's exactly what Catford emphasized. Next is Newmark. He said translation is rendering the meaning of a text into another language in the way that the author intended. For Newmark, translation is both a craft and an art. A good translation must be informative, meaning the reader should fully understand the message, just like readers of the original text do. Now, let's talk about Nida and Tabor. They define translation as reproducing the closest natural equivalent of the source language message, first in terms of meaning and secondly in terms of style. They introduce a very important concept called dynamic equivalence, which means translation should adapt to the culture and context of the target language, not just copy the words directly. Our fourth expert is Mildred Larson. Larson said it is meaning which is being transferred and must be held constant. In other words, meaning over form. A word for word or literal translation often produces nonsense. The goal of a translator is to produce an idiomatic translation, one that sounds natural in the receptor language while keeping the exact same meaning as the source. Next is Breslin. He defined translation as the transfer of thoughts and ideas from one language into another, whether it's written, spoken, or even sign language. Breslin reminded us that translation is broader than we think. Every good translation must find the closest equivalence in the target language. And our last expert is Wills. Wills described translation as a cognitive process, one that requires 3 levels of understanding. Syntactic, understanding the form and style. Semantic, understanding the meaning, and pragmatic, understanding the message and implication. For Wills, translation is not just replacing words. It involves comparing, interpreting, and analyzing the source text deeply. So let's wrap it up. We have 6 translation experts. First, Catford, textual equivalence. Newmark, author's intended meaning. Nida and Tabor, dynamic equivalence. Larson, meaning over form. Breslin, transfer of thoughts. And Wills, cognitive process. All of them agree one thing. translation is never just replacing words. It's about transferring meaning, culture, and intonation. And that's it for chapter 2. I hope this video helped you understand translation theory better. So see you in the next video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.